Bhuj is a historic city in the Kutch region of western India, near the border with Pakistan. On January 26, 2001, India's Republic Day, the streets were unusually full. Parades, flag ceremonies, families gathered outside instead of indoors. That single detail would end up saving thousands of lives. At 8:46 a.m., a fault line deep underground, one nobody even knew existed, ruptured. The result was a magnitude 7.7 earthquake with tremors. It lasted just under 2 minutes, but in a region where buildings weren't built for a quake this size, 2 minutes was enough to bring down almost everything. Nearly 400,000 homes collapsed or were badly damaged. Entire villages near the epicenter were flattened, not damaged, flattened, in seconds. Government estimates put the death toll above 13,000. Independent researchers believe the real number may be closer to 20,000. Over 150,000 people were injured. To put that in perspective, this was one of the worst earthquakes in India in nearly 2 centuries. But the earthquake itself is only half the story. What happened in the days after is what turned this into one of the most talked about survival events of the decade. With roads destroyed and phone lines down, help didn't arrive in minutes. It took hours, and in remote villages, days. Survivors weren't just fighting injuries, they were fighting time, thirst, and the psychological weight of not knowing if anyone was coming. Picture this: you're trapped under a collapsed roof. No light. You can hear voices outside. Here's something most disaster documentaries don't tell you. In the first 24 to 48 hours, it wasn't the army or professional rescue teams doing most of the saving, it was neighbors, shopkeepers, farmers, teenagers. Military relief eventually arrived in massive. Within days, this became one of the largest disaster relief operations in India's history. Field hospitals were built from nothing. Thousands of shelters went up. The United Nations and international donors sent aid as the scale became clear to the world. One thing kept repeating in survivor accounts. It wasn't just about being pulled out, it was about someone refusing to leave until they were. That's the part of this story that in the years since, Bhuj has been almost entirely rebuilt. Modern buildings now follow earthquake-resistant construction codes that didn't. The Bhuj earthquake remains one of the deadliest disasters in India's modern history, but it's also a reminder, in the worst 60 seconds imaginable, it's often not governments or headlines that save lives first. It's the person standing right next to you. If this story moved you, there are more like it. Real survival stories from around the world told the way they deserve to be told. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. And if you've ever lived through something you didn't think you'd survive, I'd genuinely like to hear it. Drop it in the comments. Some of the most powerful stories on this channel have come from people just like you.